Alright folks, how you doing? So I'm recording this on my phone so that the audio doesn't glitch. I mean, I expected it to glitch on the last video, but I never expected it to be that bloody bad. But just following on from it briefly, I thought I'd go into classical liberalism. So it's a political and economic philosophy that advocates for limited government, individual rights, and a free market economy. And these are things that people often misconstrue as conservative values, but they're strictly speaking classical liberal, although, as I say, there are a number of crossovers between the two ideologies. It emerged during the Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries and was foundational to modern democracies. When you look down at some of the influential figures, key figures include John Locke, who articulated natural rights, Adam Smith, who championed free market capitalism, and John Stuart Mill, who emphasised individual liberty. Now, John Locke was probably, I would guess, Jewish. And why I say that is when you look at when Scotland was Jewish, there's just a little passageway that kind of gives it away. A Freemason in the days before this order was openly recognised, Shaftesbury had important connections in Spain, Holland, France, the Caribbean, and Scotland. His secretary, John Locke, wrote the first colonial constitution that specifically gave rights of citizenship to Jews. Now, why would he do that if he wasn't himself Jewish? It's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it, when you think about it? And with my first auxiliary channel, Tribe of Judah, it was largely created as a counterbalance to Myron Gaines. And I remember in the last video I said I watch his stuff, and he has a very negative opinion of what he calls them boys. But one of the main reasons why I created Tribe of Judah was to counterbalance Myron and say, actually, Sephardic Jews, in the case of Scotland, actually did a lot for this country, and they did a lot for Britain, not just for Scotland, and by extension the rest of the world. And here are the ways in which Sephardic Jews greatly contributed towards society and things such as merchant guilds and trade with the Carolinas and other parts of the original 13 colonies. And they were involved in the optics trade, which was what my father was, who's of Sephardic extraction through Clan Fraser, and also Young and Watson as well. So the father's side of the family are largely Sephardic to a very great extent. Not my mother's side though. I'm Norse Irish through my mother's side, and the Jewish gene is passed on maternally, not paternally. So I'm a Gentile, I'm not Jewish, but I do have that heritage on my father's side, and it's something that I wanted to dive into with Tribe of Judah, and I already have to an extent with the main channel, but I'll be going a lot more into the contributions of Sephardic Jews to society and to philosophy and things like that through figures like through John Locke and others like John Knox, and who's more on the religious side than the political and all this kind of thing. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I created Tribe of Judah, as a counterbalance to Myron. Not to directly argue against him, but to lend another perspective, because this is part of my heritage and I take it seriously. So anyway, thanks for watching.